Hello, this is Big Boss Rescue Chief of Humane Emergency Animal Rescue. Welcome to our series, Animal Rescue Postmortem, where we analyze the good, the bad, and the ugly of animal rescues throughout the world. Volume 7, video number 21. Here we are at a body of water that's got ice on it, and there's a dog that's where this police officer is. There's a dog back here in a distance off the shoreline. I want to point out that if you go back to Animal Rescue Postmortem, Volume 7, Video number 6, you're going to see a textbook ice rescue, exactly how our ice rescue should be done. It's just one way that you can do it, but it is one of the best ways that you can do ice rescue. And clearly, I believe it's a fire department. That fire department is well equipped and well trained for that kind of ice rescue based on the equipment that they used and also the PPE that they're using for their water rescue PPE. Dry suit. I don't think there was a PFD on the person, but I should say that if you're doing water rescue or even shore-based rescue, you should have a life jacket on and a helmet. It's just a safety thing. All right. So let's get this rolling here. We have a police officer that's starting to take off whatever equipment he has on, and now he's running. Don't run on the scene. He could have sprained his ankle. He could have sprained his wrist. He could have fell backwards or forward and knocked himself unconscious. How are you going to rescue somebody if you've just created an injury to yourself? Next, let's notice that he doesn't have the proper PPE on. Water rescue PPE. He does not have a dry suit. He doesn't have a helmet. And he doesn't have on a flotation device. I believe those are all required for when even if you're doing. It's one thing to not have a dry suit on when you're trying to do a shore-based rescue. But as soon as you step foot into the water, you should have a dry suit on. That way it'll help protect you from hypothermia, whatever's in the water in terms of you have an open wound, whatever. I'm not going to go into that detail on these type videos. But you need it as protection for yourself. Walking out like this, you can tell the guy doesn't have training because this is not how you walk out on the ice unless you have the proper equipment. He doesn't have the proper equipment. And then you can go back through many of our videos where you see a ladder is used out on the ice to spread the weight. You want to spread your weight out on that ice. I say that they're lucky. The dog isn't so much because its weight's spread out there, and I think it just fell off the edge of the ice there. He's lucky he hasn't punched through there, because if he does, he's in serious trouble almost immediately, but certainly within a few minutes. You are going to run into a situation. I've come in contact with cold water before, ice cold water, just an experiment to see how it would affect my body. And within, I'd say about 30 seconds, all of a sudden, I started losing the use of my extremities and found it affected me so much so that I almost couldn't get out of the water. My extremities became so affected by that. So that's why we wear a dry suit to protect us from the hypothermia. And then also we have a flotation device and a helmet to help keep us from getting knocked out. The flotation device to keep our head above water. All right, should something happen. So this is how not to do it here. Although this was successful, I think this is a very bad example. And I think anybody that's had the proper training will agree with that. This is not how you do an on-ice rescue here in your regular clothing with no protective gear on. This is extremely life-threatening here if he ends up in the water. And you're trying to save a dog, and I'm not trying to say dogs aren't worth saving. I think this officer here likes dogs or loves dogs as much as I do. I don't know why else he would take a risk like that. but even for my own dogs, who are my family members, some of the most cherished things in my life, I would prepare myself properly to enter that water so that I didn't become a victim of the circumstances myself. Okay? That's just not a good way of doing things. Alright, I'm going to give them a 3 stars because the ice didn't break and happily ever after. and so look at that. Do not run on the scene of an emergency unless there's a gas cloud forming in front of you or you know something's about to blow up. Watch firefighters when they roll off a truck. Look how calm and organized things are. Now, I know you'll find some footage out there where it's not like that, but I'm talking about people who do it with regularity. They're going to roll off that truck and everything's going to be done in a calm and organized manner. This to me says this is an emotional reaction here, not a rational one that's thought out. When if it says here that they called the fire department in the text here, but I never trust the text because you read the text on a lot of these videos and it's like a 4th grader wrote it. So even if they did call the fire department, there's time to wait for the fire department to get there so that you don't get killed in the process. Alright? So, anyway, happily ever after. That's it for this video.